on the T side is what the stat is.
The most T-sided map is Tuscan. That actually doesn't surprise me. It's really spread out for CTs. I would say Season, I would have expected to have more T-sided rounds as well for the rotation purposes. It's so hard to rotate on that map, but it's actually CT-sided.
52% on the CT side, actually. Almost 53%.
Nuke the most CT-sided map overall. That doesn't surprise me. We're underway. Nope. Pistols, Shawnee, he's going to go on to the CZ75, plays utility with smoke. He'll get aggressive out toward long with Devo Duvek in behind to play off trade. In fact, to bait Sean in because he wants the rapid fire potential. Nitro is playing Rapunzel pistol with Glock. I'm going to go with information being the primary objective there. Glock at that range, I'm not thinking that's going to amount to much.
They did this in the earlier set too, if I remember correctly. They kind of waited up there on pistol just to try and get intel early on so they could call it out to teammates, and so they wouldn't get surprised essentially if someone tried to push out A long. It was mainly for information purposes, but we saw I forget which team did it, but there was someone that did it on a gun round too with an op, and they actually caught someone pushing outside. So pretty sure that was Liquid against CLG, if I'm thinking about this properly, but I might be wrong on that. So my memory unfortunately is not the best. But Liquid will now get ready to go for their execute as we are into the pistol round here. Starting things off, it's actually going to be a relatively open site due to the aggression coming on A. That will mean Misfits will have an early flank, but on a pistol, that may not matter too much if they can't hold on to the site. But they're doing so nicely right now. Both Sick and Shazam picking up kills. Sick finds a third. However, some more trades rolling from Liquid. They maintain for the time being, but it's down to just those two.
Sean's already wrapped around, though, having pushed out so far long. The flank is successful. Sees that at range, takes down Elige, who's not looking, not ready, and I'm going to closes it out. So good start, Misfits. Perhaps they're not willing to let Liquid continue on with the momentum that they had, a start that they would desire, having warmed up, and now they'll go presumably onto, I should hope at least, dominant rifles toward the CT side on Cobblestone, and they so far have at least not let me down in bringing up two FAMASes. Gives them more range. Sean wants to play up close, obviously, with the MP9.
Besides that, though, usual second round force from the CZs on Liquid. A couple P250s coming into the mix there as well, but JDM will be saving a lot more, waiting for the first gun round here. Misfits are going to continue to split their guys up here, but Hominek's going to have to be a little bit careful. I'm going to have to look for a surprise over here at long. Spots it. Instantly going to pop the flash down, or excuse me, pop the smoke onto the ground. And make sure that Liquid do not immediately push past him here, as they'll halt in both the mid-connector and steps area once they get control, and have to wait out that smoke for a little bit longer before they can attempt any kind of execute, but even so, they don't have a whole lot of utility to do it, so with Hominek already spotting the play there, should see these players from Misfits just on a hair trigger notice to rotate if they see them push back in from A-long.
Armor for all but JDM, which is natural and obvious for reasons. Bait them in, and Nitro gets the trade on Hominek, who took down JDM, who made the call immediately that he was close left. Devo Duvek does make up for it, and so does Sean with his MP9, although Devo Duvek had the rifle for range and played backside. He gets the distance closed by Twist, who gets the door shut in his face by Shazam, not before taking out Sick, so at least making it somewhat expensive, and they'll... Okay, Sean, stay on the MP9. I was going to say pick up the second FAMAS. They don't.
Yeah, so we'll roll with that for now. So they look to build up some extra cash here. Definitely a messy round. Definitely not an optimal second round here. With,
sucks when the CTs get hit that hard, too, because they're, again, need utility. You need more economy. The fact that they get it down to 2 men alive, although they don't get the bomb plant, it's still somewhat of a victory, a small victory for Liquid.
Yeah. I would have thought that the rotates would have come in a little bit quicker, like I said before, with Hominek getting the early spot, but it seems like he didn't get good enough intel, and then when the execute rolled out, we still saw decent trades from Liquid, so at the very least, props to Twist for picking up those kills there. Keeps the money low on the CT side as we get closer to that first gun round, but this one should be slightly easier for Misfits, obviously, with the investment going away entirely for Liquid. It's just Glocks and P250s to work with, as they'll prop players up on the platform approach out on B, and obviously sit back just to make sure that Misfits won't push out from A, and if they do, they can look to punish that early on, try to get at least one kill for free here.
So JDM waiting, as you say, for any aggression. He'll play it off sound cues. Rapunzel for Stan this time. As you said, they've been playing that a few times. They're going old school. It's frustrating as hell.
Looks like they will move out and execute into A, however, after a little bit of delay here. Just keeping themselves really quiet until that lead up, however. So all their players just lurking together, trying to not give Misfits any intel at all. They're going to have to rely on that surprise, that shock factor, in order to execute properly onto this site. Even going through the door at mid-connector, they're going to hold up on that just in case someone is directly peeking it. I don't believe there is. But in the meantime, Shazam's going to kill the one player that pushes out with the B. Ominek here to hold. He gets 2 before going down to Elige, and Devo in the site, but he can actually only get the 1 kill. Elige trades it out again. Unfortunately, he has to go back down the ramp to find the bomb, and that's probably going to be what kills him here, and in fact, it is the case. But if he had that bomb, might have been able to make a rush up to the site and at least get a plant, but not going to happen this time.
No plants, no additional income, but they are ready to buy. Round 4, as always, and there is enough for JDM to go with his desired weapon choice. He did save the armor, and immediately goes on to the op. So too will Shazam. Shotgun for Ominek. Interesting choice, considering they know they're going to be up against full rifles, and they have 2 SMGs still carried over. So no M4s at all as a result of it, and Ominek, naturally, I expect, will play toward the long corner, as he's done throughout the course of the entire event. Quick nades to see if anyone's going to contest on to drop. No one will. It's rather passive, in fact, from Liquid. The nade did go all the way through the arch doorway and do some damage on to Stan, but that's fine. 56 for him.
Continues the trend of these somewhat odd buys and gun rounds. We've seen him buy the Mac-10 a couple times too, especially on Mirage in the previous series that we've seen Misfits play. So it's keeping to that honor, choosing to go with the Mag-7 instead of some of these closer areas. And well, we're going to see in a second how effective he is with it. As it does appear, Liquid are going to start to push back in. Ominek here. The first shot's going to be a miss, but the second's a connection, and he follows it up with another one afterwards to take down Elige. A double kill for him. Be happy with that. JDM looks for a trade, but he's missed the cross on both the CTs, so he will have to fall back and now regroup with his 2 other remaining teammates.
Sick behind the box. We'll wait to get information to peek. Closer they are, the better on the UMP, and obviously for Shazam's purposes as well, but it's over toward A instead. Ominek, with 2 kills on the shotgun, certainly silences me in his plan. Has to reposition to get another close angle, and in doing so has to get coverage, but no one immediately at the top of the ramp to play off of him to bait him in. Instead, it's Devo Duvek well back in the site, wants to bait barrels, but wants to also cover the long corner so that Ominek doesn't go down for free.
Still just a slow crawl from them to get out onto the site, however. Again, relying on just the surprise of the execute in order to get into the site. But Devo ready to hold, however, only for 1 frag. He goes up onto a very exposed position. That's going to make it easy for Twist to trade him. Now, with the last 2 still alive, they'll be able to get access to the platform and find a good opportunity to plant.
It's going to be big. If he gets closer, if they let him in, I think JDM's going to check this. He has to, naturally. With Twist going that far at ABC, he's got to consider the inside rotation, but they still have the shotgun so close. The JDM scoped in may not get the information. Either way, it's Sean Gares to find the first. JDM pitch to the corner, and 4-0 Misfits.
Yeah. So 4 players left alive there. Only 1 trade going out to Devo from the more aggressive hold that he had before. Ominek picking up the 2K with the shotgun, but also trades that out now. Oh, well.
Yeah,
okay, there we go, yeah.
Sean's going to just grab it immediately. But they have a double op essentially for free. Ominek's going to, okay. He's misleading us.
Trading
I
guns
thought he
like
was
3
going to
different
say
times.
on the shotgun, but then what a start. Look at his replay. I mean, again, so close. Plays the corner. He often does, but no one to bait him in. Just straight brawl. Takes down the entry from Liquid. And now they get 2 AKs and an AWP pulled over, excuse me. So Liquid limited early by Misfits, who have played very well in Cobblestone all weekend long. Rather passively, I have to say. Questionably as well with the AWP and Shazam at times. He's rather stubborn when he wants to go through smokes toward long, but so far he's been playing passive inside of the site.
Liquid, however, back down onto another half by here. Not really going to be working with a whole lot of excess in terms of utility and whatnot. They get the basics going at least, and oh, great flash on Deshaun on the way back in. Instantly knocks him out. No room for a trade there at all. They will get access to the drop room. They're still going to have to look, however, to transition this control to somewhere else on the map and get this into a site. So they'll send a few players back over the top of the boost. After originally sending 3 downstairs there, only 1 player is going to remain inside of the room. It looks like the rest are going to go out on the platform for a pretty standard execute. Nitro jumps out first and takes sidewalk control too, but Shazam will find these players. They find them late though, so Nitro's been able to infiltrate. It's not going to get any kills just yet, but that'll change as he gets up to Shazam. With Elige finding Sick, they take full site control and get a man advantage, 3v2. With Devo and Ominek looking to come back into this site.
Trying to boost above smoke as well and doing it. Good turnaround from Liquid, isolation smokes, and Shazam has nowhere to hide. Ominek wants to let those smokes fade and find an angle, but spam to chicken because they have no vision. There's no one over there. They've got to dissect this in a better fashion. They're going to give it up as well. They'll concede it, keep the ups over. Fair enough. Their economy has been established. Liquid with the site held off and Not a lot of utility left to go along with the kits. Misfits doesn't want to risk it and lose the money early, so concede one, that's fine. It'll give some guns away, but they're still in a position, although just barely, to bring out guns on the Misfits side. I say just barely. It's Sick, as I press tab, Sick and Sean have a lot left over I didn't actually catch, so they're fine. Yeah, I was going to say, I thought they were going to move way better considering they won a bonus round.
Yeah. So they're going to be put well into the lead still, but with Liquid finally putting up their first round on the board, they have a pretty quick opportunity to break down the Misfits and put them onto his save. Misfits will end up still with a full buy here. Omnic buying for himself. I think they were trying to decide if they wanted to do a double up or not, but they decided against it. Just 4-on-4s along with the op still going back onto Shazam. After this, though, maybe a forced buy, but we will see them be put into a relatively broken state. We'll let Liquid come very, very close to tying it up already. It's going to be slow, however, from Liquid. Beginning of the round again, which is no surprise. This is match the play style that we've been seeing for them for most of the half so far. Smoke are going to be deployed, however, again by Omnic and A-Long, though, and that will stop Liquid's plans to push in early and take that control. They'll just respond with a couple HEs and wait things out, as they still have plenty of time.
So we saw these long smokes. Nitro's just going to use it literally toward long A, but we saw long smokes yesterday from Misfits to go over top, and CLG actually, excuse me, to go over top into the A site. We've seen some different iterations of deep smokes. No real damage done, but a lot of map control given up toward A. And with that smoke down, Nitro's going to walk in. They've cleared everything up to corner. Last check in danger. As soon as that's clear, look for execution because they still have 2 smokes. Doesn't seem like a lot, but you can cover the door. You can cover Romeo. I'm going to post up and hold for actually map control instead, though, which actually isn't a bad idea considering the lack of smokes and the 30-second timer still on the clock. Sean again watches drop and goes passive with Stan down. Stan's yet to find a kill in this game, but Sean's going to give him position, which Sick has to be cautious of. Playing on top of the stairs, that limits his movement considerably because from E-Box, immediately you can get the line of sight. Forced off, Molotov's out. Sick's going to have to play a peek from wide side low. That's going to open Nitro's angle, but Sick still wins it. And Shazam was ready for Stan to enter. He never got the shot out toward long, and good read as he wraps back around. So despite getting into drop early, Stan never got a lineup, and although they lose Sick, Elige is left in the site with 3 seconds. He needs to die now or not at all. And remember, there's an extended timer before which the round resets. Thankfully, there's just 2 left that no one's going to pursue. In fact, there's a team kill that came in that probably aided in the fact that no one was going to pursue. So he'll stay alive with the AK at least.
Yeah, Devo unfortunately ended up taking down Shazam there, so he will end up having to rebuy, but they win the round, so restores their economy and still keeps him in good shape, but they'll just have to drop him the op and trade out rifles there. Won't do too much harm, though. Just keep their money at a bit of a close point. But Liquid, even after losing that round, still were able to rebuy back into it. And they're back at full strength here, too. But running on empty, as if they drop this round, they're right back where they started and with a reset losing bonus.
Down and extinguish the smoke, but cover off Lom. Omnic will go more passive, given that they've gone so aggressive toward B, and they need to. Liquid putting a lot of pressure in that position early on, have at least stand up toward the stairwell, or the arch, I should say, close to the stairwell.
I've got Sick posted up pretty close, too, over on the B site. So I'll be waiting. I think the smoke is gone now, or it's going to be going away in about the next 2 or 3 seconds here.
I don't know that Omnic spotted toward lower mid. He's changed his position. So he's going to sell an open A site, and they'll watch cross instead. Devo's committed to supporting Sean. The flash from JDM will allow Stan to peek bottom stairs. Bit of a gamble throwing it, to be fair, with no smoke down if Sick could peek, but Sick's very passive in this angle. He always has been.
So it's up to Liquid to initiate here. Once again, they're caught kind of sitting back and waiting for mistakes from the CTs. And okay, there we go. They're going to catch one, actually, just when they were getting ready to execute. Stanislaw is able to find Sick falling back to the steps position there. So they got their 5v4. They got what they wanted to initiate into the site. Now they've actually got to go forward and follow through in this, which they'll do, but they won't leave themselves a whole lot of time to be able to do that. Molly's and Smoke's going to be tossed back out. Shazam, however, will still push forward past it, but he's not going to be allowed to escape. And Sean, too, is only going to be able to get 1 kill. That clears out the site, leaves it in a 3v2, and leaves only the players rotating from A alive. Devo and Ominek gonna have to try and work their way back into the site, but they have no intel about where these T's are positioned in post-plant. Not really a whole lot of utility either. In fact, it's non-existent on both of their kits. So they give this up. They're gonna call for a save instead and let Liquid pick up a second round.
So Liquid find their third, but again, in doing so, Misfits stay efficient and keep guns up. Impressive they got into the beat in the fashion they did, considering the amount of pressure that was applied early by Misfits, having the 4-man rotation toward the site. Sick got caught out rather stupendously, I have to say. He was read well by Stan. The question is if they can bring the op back out on Shazam, do they get him aggressive and take that angle? Because JDM's been sitting there with no utility in front holding it. If Shazam can get there first, it might be beneficial, but it won't be this round unless Ominek wants to be very kind and drop it over. They can distribute well, definitely get some more guns out. It's going to be a pause immediately. Okay, there it is. Yep, that's exactly what they're going to do. So they spread the M4s, but Ominek drops the op to Shazam, and I imagine Shazam goes aggressive toward B as a result of it.
And so that will mean that Sean has to try and buy off of his own bag, because I don't think they have any drops for him. No,
that's fine. They strictly want the op to be aggressive to get the early pick. That's worth it in the fact that Sean doesn't have a gun, so long as Shazam can achieve that goal. And the money's been whittled down, even though it's 5-2. And the fact that a lot of the rounds early were contested. Again, round 2 even goes back to start damaging the economy when you saw that only 2 CTs were left alive. They've not really established the bank at JDM. He's going to get to that corner, I think, before Shazam. Shazam's gone out toward long to hold, so they're going to anchor along with the 4-man stack. It's the opposite approach. It is the other one that you can't get aggressive on, but it's not going to be to cover off the smokes, and that means Nitro gets free entry.
We do have Misfits stacking up. The problem is they have 2 players committed to the drop room there, which means they're not going to be able to help out if the players from Liquid end up going for just a straightforward rush out of platform, which they're now doing. Misfits end up pretty much with their entire team behind the smoke wall, so they can't resist it at all. Liquid are going to walk right in. Sick will try to resist, and Nitro, Twist saves Nitro's life right there with that kill. Nitro as well, swinging over, almost picked up the frag himself, but not going to happen right here. Sean sneaks past the smoke wall, gets one on his own. Now that leaves the remaining players on Liquid trapped on the backside with no additional control. Sean's going to push forward, and unfortunately for Stan, he's not able to peek back out and immediately get that trade, so it's another free kill for Misfits. They take the man advantage, but they don't realize JDM, he's still up on top of this platform. He trades it back, takes down Sean, but and re-peeks out, and that's where Shazam is waiting for him here on the sidewalk now. Only 2 remain, however, Elige holds on, picks up that additional frag against Devo, and brings everything onto Shazam, who's not even really going to attempt this from the looks of it, but he does. Tries to peek out from Rock to take the fight on the player at Coop, and it will not pay off. Elige takes him down. Liquid win again. Yeah,
2 in a row. Break point as well. I was so surprised. They tried to counter-smoke the wall despite being, as you say, with the stack, very limited in their options, playing so much pressure toward drop. When Sick pushed through, the gun barrel showed. Nitro turned away. Twist doesn't hit that shot. I actually think Sick wraps into an ice plant and gets control of the site again. So Twist did a phenomenal job spotting him getting inside. And Nitro stays alive because of it, so... bit sloppy. There was also a massive gap in the counter smoke. They wanted to put that flush against the side of the tree so you can get in behind the statue and not be spotted from platform, which is how Twist ended up seeing him in the end. Aggressive stance inside of bottom mid from Ominek, but he'll back it off instead. They tried to bait and switch yesterday, Misfits, with Ominek behind the door and 2 players playing bottom mid to conceal the fact that there was a 3rd player, obviously, that was that close.
Yeah.
I think he sprayed down 2 when they tried it.
With Misfits on this full eco round, though, we're not really expecting anything amazing from them. Liquid should just be able to waltz right through this one. So they're going to take it nice and slow here. At the moment, not even really moving in to take too much map control here. They've gone into mid-connector and gotten that at least, and they've gotten themselves out onto the approach towards Broken Wall, but they will sit back here and wait once again to see if Misfits make any moves. And actually, in a moment here, Nitro is about to get to the top of ramp and realize that the A side has been left entirely open for the taking. But instead of calling for his teammates to move over to that site and plant the bomb in A, looks like they're going to want to take the fight anyway here. Nitro will move back in. He's already spotted his first target, takes him down, but there is a trade from Devo. Oh, now Ominek picks one up too from inside of drop room. This could get a bit chaotic here, and now Sean sneaking through Broken. Finally some trades from Team Liquid there, bring it back down to another even fight. What they haven't seen just yet, at least I don't think they've seen it, is going to be Sick sneaking out from Statue. Gets the first kill. JDM just in the open here too, trying to hold on his own with pistols. He picks up one. Oh, and he hits the second player. About a third of his health. Well, that brings Sick down low, but he's got the up now. And with a no-scope, he shuts it down, winning a full eco for Misfits.
Don't think JDM realized he was going to pick up the op and do that because he challenged so aggressively. Good find from Sick, good timing as well to deny the plant. JDM was preoccupied toward the window, and it's the smoke push that actually surprises me out toward long. They don't hear that coming as Sean got behind them, so very well struck back from Misfits. Money's very dire on both sides, to be fair, but Misfits CT side starting to accumulate rounds with Shazam leading the way and yet to go aggressive. I think this round they'll probably stay passive as well because it doesn't have a great spawn forward, so Sean already gets nades out toward drop. No, okay, take it back. He's going to get a little closer. He likes that Molotov, Shazam.
With that little bouncy one?
Yeah, it covers off the arch, so even if they beat him by, it essentially controls the choke point.
Well, he's going to have some spam near him here, but not only come close to connecting, it's just these CTs hitting the door and trying to see if they can spam into it to do any early damage, but no success to be found there. What they do, however, as we can see.
Yeah, so the first Molotov, just to clarify on how they played this, first Molotov covers arch, lets them peek the corner. Shazam gets to the stairs with the op, and immediately in front of him, although Sick goes down, he clears the corner. Then they throw a deep Molotov, deep smoke, and they know everywhere except the left side for Shazam, which he's still peeking now because it's the only place they can't clear is covered. And then it gets him the stairwell, but unfortunately he lost Sick to a rather decent shot, I have to say.
Yeah, and now that's left them at a disadvantage, but Devo pushing back in. He's going to see that there's no one outside of this mid-connector at all, so that means that Liquid's plan has been revealed. That'll call for the rotate on Ominek. He's already on his way over towards B. And he'll have to sit here and hold as he watches out for dropper pressure, too. Not sure if anyone's gotten down inside of there just yet, but Liquid will start to smoke things off. However, there's the surprise.
Stan had that dead to rights, and he jumped, and it cost him dearly. They do go back and at least get Devo back down. It's a gun available for Twist, so he's turned around and said, forget going in, I want that gun. They're going to rotate around as well onto A because that's the flank down, which means they'll be in transition on the CT side.
Ominek's currently going to be the only one here to defend it, though. That'll be the problem for him. Shazam and quite a few of the others just holding hard angles on the B site. So in moving in here, he's going to have to call this out quickly, get the additional rotates over. He's doing it now, but this is too late. Ominek's going to have to try and stay alive for as long as possible.
Doesn't need to move. The longer he stays still, the better chance he has because of the planting as well. Can't deny it. Puts it down, it leaves them at a disadvantage, but they've got one up coming through, and Sean's already found Twist. It's just JDM, good angle, but behind the silo, excuse me, the stables, it's so vulnerable. He gets sprayed once, and then Sean just walks in as he's distracted elsewhere. Good retake again from Misfits.
Could have made that a little bit more interesting if they actually denied the plant and took them down to the timer, which would have really messed up their economy if they still got all those kills. But at least they still managed to pull off the retake in relatively clean fashion there, and more importantly, maintain their lead here as they go up 7-3, and that'll still put Liquid into a pretty bad spot economically, as they're going to be right around 3K on each player here. So definitely not in a position to buy. At most, we'll see some upgraded pistols.
Pistols brought over. Another broken economy. 3 rounds only, Liquid. And not really much in terms of execution. A couple of wall sets toward B, but nothing that's been crazy or inventive to try and stifle positions. Aside from one flash to take a fight against Sick, which amounted to a round in the end. Liquid's not really been doing anything.
It's very straightforward.
They're gifted map control, but they're not doing anything with it, I suppose is the way to put it. JDM this time just optimistic, runs in, taken down immediately.
Sick will get that kill. I'm pretty sure Ominek's heard the players in mid too, so he's going to call that out.
Though. Ominek may have heard that, but the fact that Stan's gone down through the connector and gets inside of the doorway, they're not going to expect that. He can easily get kills on rotation. Ominek down. Yep, there you go. And no, I still don't realize that he pops out. Perfect position from Stan to get down, drop, and lurk. As Elise pulls Devo Duvek back, this round could be stolen on that alone.
Shazam hoping he peeks the door here. Won't happen. Elise will fall back. He'll get himself up onto the platform and just focus on the plant right now. Start the timer ticking in the opponent's direction. And that's what they'll do. Shazam still waits this out until he knows that he's up on the platform planting. They can switch over to the rifle here now. He doesn't want to take the 1v1 with the AK. Out he goes. Elige sitting back, just waiting on the wall here, waiting for him to peek. He doesn't realize how far up he's gotten. So he needs to check this other side here, as otherwise he will walk right up and take him out. And Elige is trying to check it, but this is, for the most part, going to come down to timing. Whether Elige seizes in time, he does, but he's brought down to 1 HP. And I just realized as well, he didn't even have armor, so unfortunately he's not going to be able to take that fight against an AK. Shazam will easily win it and take Misfits up to 8. Oh, he's even teabagged him as well.
I've shut my mic off.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
not
you hit
the
the wrong
cough
button.
That was the
that's an on-off button.
I was going to say typical Shazam, but it's kind of ruined now, isn't it? Ruined my own joke, Blue.
unfortunate.
It's fine. I'm slowly ruining my career too, but don't tell anyone. The fact that they got the lurk down inside of that, inside of Murder Hole was super solid. And I thought the fact that as well, as soon as they make contact out toward with JDM going in, I said it was rather optimistic, but it worked to cause the rotation and allow Stan the positioning. So it was something that was reasonable to work with. Unfortunately, it doesn't amount to much. Early smokes, VP style almost, in the fact that they want to cover off the tree. And again, it's for a ruse. They want to get toward the A side as a result. They're even leaving an anchor toward the statue if they bait out any push from specifically the two French players on Misfits.
Liquid are going to, again, play this very slowly, as been the case for most of today, actually, on their T sides here. Haven't been one to go for any sort of direct plays right off the bat, many sort of set plays to go directly into the sites here. They've been perfectly fine with sitting back and waiting the timer down, playing into defaults.
I wouldn't be surprised if you see Nitro try and drop another long smoke to isolate Devaduvek. Oh, he may not have to. JDM might just get the fight straight. Delivery and contact. He sees the shoulder. Devaduvek, that's a one-way angle if you've ever seen one. I'm not sure if there's a shadow there that he was firing at, but he definitely,
it was a shadow,
yeah, I think it had to have been. He was expecting him to keep walking because there's no way the model showed. If it was, that's pretty one-sided, because Stan's already inside a drop.
Neither player did damage either, so.
Yeah, I think he was expecting him to keep walking and pre-fired the shadow. Shazam, meanwhile, takes down Stan. Good find up close to the AWP in E-box, and as he finds that, Kill Twist is looking back the direction. Omnic goes through the window, so good find. I think what they wanted to do was actually try and get a preset smoke behind Devaduvek so that they could get JDM into the position at hay bales and start clearing long systematically. Oh no. This is an easy one. At least Elige makes up for it as JDM gets the position in the end. They lost too many men in trying to do so. They have to isolate every single position, pre-plant with Molotovs, and it leaves them with one single flash and a nade in the post-plant. JDM with another kill on Shazam at least benefits, but sick. Does he get the timing? Oh. JDM's holding it. Well played.
I think he was hoping to suspect that JDM would be looking back further down A long, watching for him, but not the case. He had a free kill onto the planter too, and JDM is going to see the shadow. Makes up for the player crossing tree, so he's going to shut things down nice and easily, getting both the final kills and securing a round 4 for Liquid. Which again, breaks Misfits here. Their money has remained very unstable, and for the most part have only remained in full buys just by the virtue of them winning a majority of these rounds here. So they do have to end up forcing up. At least 3 of their players will. Waiting to see what the others do here. Don't buy down entirely, but they do at least go for armor and CZ purchases, leaving about $500 or so in their bank after the buy.
So Liquid, at least keeping the economy honest, managed to find themselves a chance to get back into the half. At 8-4, they need to win pretty much. The rest of them get to 6 at the very least. 6, speaking of, has already shut down Stanislaus. Sean taken out at range and a double peek. Unfortunately, Sick depleted all of his ammunition.
And that'll call instant save for the remaining 3 on Misfits. Nothing they can do about that when Liquid go for such a quick execute. They wanted a quick shutdown this round, and that's what they get.
Look for exits. If you're Misfits at this point in time, you're about to get just, I mean, it's going to be double win, but it's going to be at 1900 going in. Yeah, you are in double eco territory. I think at this point, if you're going to save the armor and pistols and you're still in double eco, try and get some exit kills and limit their economy where you can, because otherwise they're just going to build banks. So you might as well sit as close as you can to the bomb and hope you get 1 or 2 more down at the best case scenario.
Also pretty much at the end of the half here too, so might as well just have the 1 full save round here and then just buy up completely on the 15th round, which I think is what they're aiming to do. Shazam getting 1 nice kill against Twist.
1 more kill and it's almost, oh yeah, there you go. Get Nitro. It's almost worth it because they'll get Liege. He gets tagged to 25. They'll get a few guns down, which forces the reinvestment, keeps the economy honest, and gives them a better chance in round 15, especially if they can do that again now. But unfortunately, where we are 14, it's not really going to change much, to be fair, other than a little bit of utility, best case scenario.
It's going to have to be, yeah, pretty much a full eco. When we see 1 P250 and a flashbang are all they buy on this round, so very, very minimal investment. And for Liquid, obviously, no problems for them. We even have Nitro going for the Confidence Mac 10 buy. We'll try to farm up some money here and hopefully not get overwhelmed.
Stand aggressive at long with Shazam up close. How did that Molotov go off in his face? I think it was above on the... Okay, I was going to say that has to spread and hit him, and eventually it does when he's blinded up. He doesn't realize it. Stan takes full advantage of Sean, takes that sick, and JDM was right in calling. I have not heard anything B yet.
It's all on Omnic, who's already down to 14 HP and not going to be able to get a whole lot done. So this will easily knock him out. The expected result coming out of that one, almost a team ace from Liquid there, too. Only 1 player just picks up 2 kills.
You like this team ace stat. You're constantly harping on about it.
Yeah.
It is fun.
Just a fun little, doesn't really matter, it's just interesting. Instead of 1 or 2 guys getting all the kills in the round. But now in the 15th round, full buyout coming in from Misfits, including the op on Shazam with armor behind it. Utility going to be not amazing, but also not terrible.
It's fine on the Liquid side because last round was so convincing. If they could have done the same sort of economic damage, they might have hindered them slightly. But they're fully set, fully equipped. AWP for JDM as well, and Stan wants to be the one to try and get up the corner position. Shazam, by the way. As they stack up B early on the Misfits side again, this might be a counter to Liquid. They know that Liquid likes to try to take long control at B. We did say Sean is the master of counter strat, but Shazam's going to play once more in the B site. Passive from Statue. Stan walks in, finds Sean and Sick. That's going to open up everything. And it exposes, if you look at Devo Duvek's position in Hobbit Hole, because if they walk out and he's sitting in the open with nowhere to peek, he's got to go aggressive. Shazam makes up for it. Devo Duvek does find the stairwell. And Shazam, what a round. Again from Statue, he shuts them down. It's not the first time he's been impressive in that position.
3 massive kills all coming out from that Statue spot, and he's able to single-handedly kill the hit from Liquid. Obviously still has some support coming in from Devo on the other side, but it's those two.
Well, it's Devo as well that had to read the fact that if they lost E-Box and Shazam goes down at Statue, his whole play at Hobbit Hole is if they hold drop and they walk out long, he wins long, and they can still have control of the inside of the site. As soon as that's lost, he had to make a move, and he did. That was full credit to him for taking the stairwell aggressively.
And those good entries as well from Stanislaw would put them into that chaotic situation in the first place. But Shazam was able to maintain, able to keep himself calm and composed. And so he picks up those 3 very important kills along with his teammate to be able to secure the 9th round for Misfits as they close out the half there at 9-6. Now they switch sides, however. Misfits will be on the T side. Liquid go on to defense. It's very close here. So Liquid with 1 pistol victory can potentially tie this game back up.
Huge win for Misfits, keeping that at 9-6. Grinding out the half again in the Misfits way. Again, didn't have full control of economy at any point. Yeah, okay, they had a number of anti-egos, but they couldn't build their and establish a bankroll. So keep it 9-6 and not avoid 8-7, especially when you know that Liquid pretty solid on pistols this weekend, to be fair. So twist to bait Nitro. Or vice versa, I suppose. Bait Nitro in, but Nitro to bait twist, quite literally.
There you go.
If we want to be technical with words. You got the point.
Yeah, got that figured out.
Quit picking on me, Blue.
We've got Misfits, again, taking it very slowly after they were seeming like they were just going to go directly out onto the B side, but that's not necessarily the case anymore. Shazam has been able to sneak himself into mid-connector, so he's got this control for free. Stanislaw doing the war stomp here as he tries to check for intel.
It's not a lot this weekend, actually.
Just banging the drums. It's like a beat.
I feel like these, the chief of staff for the SWAT team is going to be really annoyed that he's damaging the wheel arch of the APC. Like, come on, dude. It's an expensive vehicle.
That's taxpayer money right there.
Exactly. Sean rushes. They have pushed him back and identified where Stan is gone. Sean with Amanuk is able to turn over. In fact, Sean didn't even get an assist on the Elige kill, but Amanuk certainly got the headshot. That's going to open the site for Misfits. And I'm right back around to watch Murder, and Shazam will get aggressive to watch rotations. I don't necessarily agree with you. Okay, good. Going all the way to long because they can easily slip underneath, but he's still in a position to watch danger. And in fact, they're going to save the armor on the CT side.
Yeah, so Misfits just roll right in, completely execute the entire B setup for Liquid, or from Liquid there, to be able to clear out the site relatively easily. They don't lose a single player, and they probably won't lose any players as they move out here since Liquid have put themselves so far back. That's going to be a clean way to open up the second half here, and more importantly, secure Misfits' lead if we assume that they do not get ecoed on the following round here. Yeah, we do have the player in for Clemson. He's not checking out the window. He's more so just sitting back on the top of the stairs to make sure no one pushes him. So they'll both save, they'll both keep those armor kits in check and have that available now for the force buy. Stuff from Sean too as he moves in here. He gets gooshed a little bit, so messes up his aim, but he's able to recover it. Still pick up the kill, as we do see them shooting ahead of Liquid now. And Liquid obviously on this second round force up pretty well. Obviously JDM is not going to go for his own pickup here, but Nitro gets the ump because he saves the armor. And we have the usual series of CZs and P250s with armor behind them besides that.
I think Stan's got to be a bit careful. Doesn't want to peek it. I think there's a gap. He's trying to one-way it, I think. No such luck.
Do we know what the 21 in Stan's name is for, by the way?
No.
No? I've been trying to figure that out too, because it's new, so.
If it was like Stan15, I'd say that's Stannis, but yeah, I don't know what the 21 is. 21, is he 21 years old now? Is he like
maybe,
legal drinking age? The law is 21.
That was my best guess too, but I was kind of hoping it was something else, but maybe someone else can enlighten us, or we can just ask him.
Yeah, that's probably the best bet.
Yeah.
Just ask him. He is in the room, Blue.
That's true.
In fact, you may even be able to ask him right now. I wouldn't recommend it, but you could.
It's a bit of an inconvenient time for him, so we'll wait a little bit.
2 chairs away from you.
That's true. Very slow in this round again from Misfits here, as they are sitting back waiting to see what Liquid are going to do, but they've made 0 progress. They haven't even pushed into A long yet, and they only have 30 seconds left. So what's the game plan here, Misfits? You need to start shaping up. So otherwise, if you do end up just going right into this massive setup from Liquid here on the B site, it's going to be troublesome. Stanislaw did spot it, so he's going to call back those rotates that were starting to shift away. Moving in, Devadex had to do a double take, but still taken down because he did that. Stan's going to be able to pick up 2 kills here before being traded out by Sean. Ooh, Amanex spots this player coming over counter boost, but he still can't get the kill. So Liquid decimate the entire hit. Misfits take way too long to form up there, second guessing themselves on the way into the site, and that cost them big, as Liquid do indeed upset on the second.
Yeah, huge. Momentum back. Misfits yesterday grinded out by limiting the amount of mistakes they made and actually winning every single anti-eco, pretty much every single anti-eco. In fact, I think they only lost 1 against CLG on Mirage in that whole series, if I'm not mistaken. But Liquid take control on CT side. They have decent setups. They've got so much potency for a double-up setup so far today with Twist as well. Very slow from Misfits, you're right. And didn't even check corners once they threw basically a Hail Mary at the end. Can you stop doing that to my tongue, please, Blue?
Sorry.
Okay, thanks. Devadex is going to try and clear along with the Deagle. It's a force from Misfits, obviously, because they want to break back the economy first chance they get. Elige Mac 10, which goes against Armor as a result of the force buy. Which I say, again, doesn't have that much Armor's penetration, but Twist proved me wrong last game. Ominix proved me wrong all weekend.
We are going to see here Misfits crawling up a little bit better this time. They've got a long control already. They're going to split themselves up so they can check down a mid-connector. As soon as this has been checked, there should be nothing holding them back from actually executing. And they're going to rush up now that they know it's clear. So pressure is going to be on Stan and Nitro to hold this. Nitro gets good damage off. Look at this. No damage return onto him whatsoever. Calls this out. Rotate should be on the way momentarily. Stan even picking up the 2 kills that he'd done damage on previously here. And with the rotates arriving, the chances for Misfits have just shot down the drain. Amanex is making this play in the shed. It'll all come down to if he's realized there or not, as he's the only one that can find impact now. He's the last man alive, but even with that 1 kill, JDM finds him outside there in the site connector and trades him a second later.
Yeah, JDM watched door instead of the actual event position, so I'm not too well to get him. But yeah, good recovery, good communication. Elige 15 leads way, and they'll stick with him on the Mac 10 this round because there won't be armor on the T side. They'll have to concede and sit back before they go into a gun round. So 10-9 should be the intended scoreline. Bomb plant will be massive as well, in the fact that it's only going to be a 3rd round bonus. Special. Ominix tagged through the mid door. Stan took most of the shots into the damage. And it reveals that he was waiting to see if there was going to be aggression toward long, which I'm not sure. Nitro looked like he was pretty committed to it. Not sure they would have peeked all the way around.
It's still going to be a very hesitant style of play from Misfits here right now, which I'm a little bit worried about. Shows me that there's not full confidence in the team. On a round like this, it's relatively acceptable since they're working with a minimalist buy.
This is perfect for an SMG. I'm going to boost a gun. Oh, he's going to be... I don't think Sick will spot the gun barrel sticking up from that far back because it is the SMG. Even when he's blinded, he'll still fire into it. They read the fact that he's boosted. Shazam gets there in the end. But it is just the Mac 10 and the damage has been dealt. Amanex already tagged previously, and Sean and Shazam down to about half health each.
Took down Devo. Yeah, as you said there, Almanac and Shazam also getting hit pretty heavily by that. So now Almanac spots Stanislaw. I think he saw his arm there behind the tree, so tries to spam it. Won't pan out, though. And Nitro picks off one. He's looking for the head of Almanac. Can't get it. He's going to fall back behind the APC. Gets away, though, and acts as a perfect distraction for Twist to just roll right out here and destroy the remaining 3 players on the T side.
Works out as a bait, slows him down enough. Nearly got taken down, which would have been some money spent, but now we go back into the gun rounds. Unfortunately, there's not going to be an op on the T side. $200, $250 exact to be light. $150 if I do math correctly. Excuse me, at 46, not 45 on Shazam. Full kits, full arsenal of nades for Liquid, but as strong as you could possibly be. And only 2 smokes still left over as they put out a very early long smoke set toward B, and Elige knows those were thrown from far back based on the timing, so he's going to try and get forward. So even if they want to commit and use that wall, he'll shut them down aggressively.
So it's going to be Misfits. Pull themselves forward here. It's a good thing they don't push this, as Almanac and potentially the player behind him too would have been dead. Elige decided to jump up here. Another good flash. Almanac's able to dodge it this time, though, and takes down Elige, which now gives them the right they need to get into the site. They'll quickly set up some pop flashes and whatnot to go forward. Another good flash actually connects, but now it's a JDM. He's able to respond, picking up 1 kill on his Sean here. Sig trying to take the sidewalk out. He finds a kill, but he's losing teammates very quickly. In fact, he's being hit by his own teammates, but gets that second kill. Now traded by Twist, but it's even into a 2v2. And they've moved up. They've cleared out the site with Devo's train on the Twist. It should be clear to plant this.
I don't think Elige realized they were so close. The first flash, if anyone was on stairs, was perfect. The second one, they were already posted and ready, and it wasn't well thrown in that they could see it the whole way pretty much. So he overcommits. That's what really foiled the entire plan, because the wall set was still out. It covered off JDM. He got 1 shot and Sick wrapped around. Now they can just post up. They know Stan's coming from door. Double peek together, as you would do. Again, this French duo, they seem to work perfectly in tandem. When they're left alive late, they're actually super solid. Communication again. Misfits plant, win. Money carried over, AWP grabbed, so Shazam will instantly receive that. Liquid side still has 4 spy left in them. In fact, almost a full buy, except for the fact that, okay, so Elige actually is better off than I thought. I think he was thrown an M4 because he got full armor and utility. He was, yeah.
JDM will just have to buy glass cannon on, actually.
So they were happier giving Stan, or rather, excuse me, Elige a gun, which makes sense. You want to give Elige a gun, and leaving JDM on glass cannon, then giving him the op and armor. Which is fair enough, because he's already found the first pick, and it is an AWP after all.
So already earns his weight right there with the first frag.
And you know Shazam's always going to try and be peeking angles like that, so good read from JDM to get in and get the early shot.
This will put Misfits back and pretty much kill any of their ambitions to push out onto the B site here, but Liquid will still keep 3 within the B site just to be safe. Because now we are going to see Misfits quickly putting up positions inside of the mid-connect here. Stan even looking away from it, which unfortunately is going to cost him. Devo takes him down. He returns, actually no, returns 0 damage. I just realized that too. To any of the members of Misfits, and they'll be able to swarm up the ramp. They're doing it rather slowly though, so it's buying a lot of time for Liquid to rotate their players back over here. Problem is they've been smoked off on one, so really the only option they have is to push out heaven. This will work okay. Twist gets himself out, finds 1 kill, didn't see the player on ramp, but still chains a second kill together before getting eliminated by Almanac. Devo also took out Elige. So we're even in a 2v2, and the T's still don't even have platform control. This is the worst part.
Shadows suck in this game, I have to say. Devo instantly saw him jumping up. JDM, good find on Almanac, though. That's going to leave Devo in a really tight position. Reads the fact that he's going to be peeked, has to reload. Somehow gets away from it, but doesn't have the bomb. And Nitro, who is the first one into the site, can hold the position, but he gets aggressive, and Devo finds the shot instead. Devo Duvek found probably the most important kill in getting Elige, because as soon as Elige took balcony and Twist already had the wide side covered, he tried to swing in behind them and get aggressive. All on the fact that he would at least get trades. As soon as they hit Elige on the top of balcony, it fell apart, because then Twist was in the open with no backup, and Devo was able to control the situation after. But what a 1v1, I have to say, considering he lost track of him, and the shadow doesn't really show when he's already on top of the HUD. So fair play.
So very well played by Devo there to be able to keep control of that 1v2 as it turns into towards the end of the round. Wins it out for his team. And Liquid again will find themselves reset as a result of those 2 losses there. Breaks their bank entirely. They end up on just default pistols and 1 CZ and a P250. So expect Misfits to walk over this one relatively conflict-free, get themselves up to 13. I say that, granted, but we have seen upsets like this in the past. In fact, just in this map, Misfits have already upset on a full eco, so still Still definitely some damage that can be done. And I don't think Misfits realize it yet, but there is going to be a large stack waiting for them over here at A-Long. That's already got them the first kill. And they get any more is going to be the question. Nope. Twist tries to sneak from the other side of the stable, but can't make it happen. Nitro, though, going to be a little bit better off here. Manages to just barely squeak out a kill onto Sean. Finds an AK upgrade for his trebles here, but I'm not entirely sure that he's going to go back into the site with it yet. They're contemplating it, sitting inside of the mid connector. Stan's going to be peeking out next.
AK picked up for Nitro, I think is going to be a valuable asset moving forward, so I don't imagine this will go much further. He's already backing off to try and save it, Stan. Not much to lose. Stick around and take anyone he can down with the bomb. But 13 rounds for Misfits.
Yeah, there we go. Obviously, Nitro long gone with that AK being saved. Won't be anywhere near the action here for the most part.
No.
Just that player looking for exit kills.
I like how Omnic even looked toward the tower. He's like, come on. Misfits. Convincing, I have to say. This is an event that they've grown into. Coming into this, remember, they did not qualify for this event. They were in a tiebreak because French Canadians couldn't make it. A three-way tiebreak that they ended up winning. And now that they're on LAN, okay, yeah, I expected a little more from them on a LAN environment with so much experience, but not as this roster, obviously. In previous years and iterations of teams that Sean and Shazam and obviously Sick TSM have been on, but man, oh man, they've improved throughout the course of the weekend. Considering they struggled even to get into the playoffs against Luminosity, then grinded against Liquid yesterday, just barely beat out CLG, and now they're doing it again to Liquid. That's pretty impressive.
Definitely. And that speaks volumes to what this team could achieve and to some degree has achieved in the past. But we'll talk about that later as we are already into the execute. Misfits put it at full throttle for this round. It's not working out too great. JDM with his trade onto Sick coming outside of the drop room there leaves them with basically zero progress to justify these trade kills. They don't even have a long control either, so you still have Nitro positioned over here. The very edge of it. The M4 in hand. Omnic, a good spot though from within the smoke, is going to be able to take down JDM. Opens up a new opportunity. Whether Omnic realizes it yet or not, the B side is left wide open. And that's going to call for the rotate of the other two remaining Misfits roster players.
Omnic won't evaluate that. Obviously, he's going to hold rotations instead. Flank potential for Nitro if they are slow to clear the site. They're going to push window as well. That looked pretty convincing as we snapped off of it based on the fact we were watching door. So toward D-box with Nitro clearing it from above. Omnic's going to stay and eat.
Nitro, no movement down into drop just yet. As the T's are still taking control. And in that position, Twist is going to be able to get one. They have this boost up too. Shazam misses the op shot to try and kill the lower player on the totem pole there. Twist will then take him out. Now it's all on Omnic again to clutch. He hasn't even seen it yet, but there's a player up on platform, and he'll finish it off.
Sick
Nitro
boost.
gets the last kill.
Sick boost. They throw the smoke, the one smoke they have to cross over, and Sean plants somehow in the open to it, and the boost actually pays off to not only get one kill. Usually it's one kill, and the retake, it pulls off the entire round. Sean just had to take one step further. He was out of position. Look at that. You can see it on the replay. And then Shazam posts up thinking, I've got the op. That'll work. Nope, not quite. Twist, really, really good job. 19 kills for him. He leads the way. In fact, not overall, but for his team, Omnic leads on 21.
Pause is going to be called by Misfits here. They are at a bit of a crossroads as to whether they can buy or not. You can see the money. It's a bit divisive.
Omnic and Devo could force and drop. Go armor, 1 SMG, 4 AKs.
Shazam can probably umper Galil by on his own.
I think they'll end up 2 SMGs with 3 AKs.
Sure, they're going to actually be able to put an AK up on the board too.
Okay. Omnic. That's surprising.
It's got to drop that, right? No.
No, because
really?
I don't understand the point of this force based on money. What's the math on that? Because that's going to be a 1-round reset. If they lose 2, they're going to get, second round bonus. But that means that they leave one player on 3150 when he could have dropped out an AK, and Sean has no gun as a result of it. I think they could have done more in this force.
Well, for the time being, it's working out all right. Almanek moving in. First off, gets the kill onto Twist, but JDM is here, ready to trade some of these kills. They trade it right back, though. Almanek finds another one. Sean's going to roll up to the A site here now. They've cleared it back out. It'll be a 4v3 in the post plant, but keep in mind, they have 2 players heavily injured. Almanek and Shazam very low here, but they've also got some good positions already established, and I'm not even sure that they're expecting this. Sick, it's one. Oh, he didn't expect to see a Liege, however, still hiding out inside of the mid connector there. So once again, 1-for-1 trades have been the name of the game of this entire round so far. Exclusion of Misfits is 1 entry kill here on A.
Sean's got good positioning with the M4, excuse me, picked up. So somehow they make up for it. I still don't. I have to sit back and look at that and do the math. That's breaking my brain right now because I think they could have forced more effectively into it. You're only going to get 1,900. You're not going to be able to force in the next round with 1 player with only 5. So either way, Shazam's stuck underneath the balcony. Bomb already planted, and JDM has to back away. They can't get in. They can't find the pick fast enough. And again, Sean had really good positioning at long, even if they could, to play the post plant. So Misfits get away with it. And not only that, it causes a reset towards Liquid.
Yep. So they're going to have those 2 rifles, and they're going to have a decision to make here, too, whether it's worth forcing or not, considering Misfits have gotten up to 14. But with the money the way it is, it's probably not going to be palatable. I was more curious to see if, with Almanek saving that money, they were trying to look for like an op buy or something like that, but it wouldn't have made sense considering.
What I was thinking, because 1,900 on the 3150, I mean, it puts him in position at 52, or 50, yeah, 5150, whatever the math is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
To buy out, obviously, an AK and drop maybe 1 SMG, but it left no one else with any money, whereas if they distributed that more evenly, they could have had Sean UMP off of default, no problem. But early picks and they make it work, so fair enough.
They managed to piece it together, and now Almanek is just rich. He's going to have $7,000 going into this round alone. They keep that money afloat. And another interesting buy from Almanek, as he's back to the Mac 10 again, with $5,900 left in excess. And Liquid actually put together a pretty decent buy for the position that their money ended up being in. 2 umps of Hamas and AK, along with the AWP, and the AK and AWP, of course, being safe in the previous round, but it's very respectable. Could easily shut down Misfits if they if they have too many missteps going into this round.
JDM's going to go fast peek. Ooh, jump slows him down ever so slightly. Nade out because they expect him. Does that mean they're posted? It doesn't even matter. How quick was that from JDM? Sean gone, at 4 players peeking at it, a nade already expecting his presence. And they're not going to slow down, though. 6 already in, jumps through, fully blinded, but can't turn fast enough as Nitro finds 2 on the UMP. Perfect counter to Liquid so far. Shazam does get 1 through the edge of the smoke. They still have range in their favor, but do they expect a Liege? Good shot.
The Liege, though, did take down Shazam's teammate, so it is on just him now in a 1v3 scenario. Flashes over the top, doesn't even see Twist down below. Okay, it's allowed to recover, though.
Grab the bomb maybe on the way by with 12 HP. I don't think you really want to go back for it. There's a step ahead of him, but either way, he's going to play this. Needs an ace.
Plenty of time, too, so I don't think he was going to back away from the site.
Oh, bomb's, okay, excuse me. I saw the outlay. I thought it was on top of the step based on his positioning. It's below, okay.
That threw me off, too, to be honest.
So no fault of Shazam on that. And Stan knows it. They're going to just watch the bomb entirely. Shazam, 44 seconds.
They're going to hear him more than likely if he goes drop.
There's really no way, aside from maybe going inside long and trying the fake drop from inside, there's really no way they don't check this. Immediately, the attention turns. Stan hears it. All he has to do is watch the angle because JDM's still watching the bomb from inside a chicken. And immediately they take the round.
With the time he had, in theory, he could have done something crazy, like tried to wrap all the way around A, because he had like a minute and 10 seconds left when he started walking back up Cat, but this didn't occur to him at the time, I assume. And decided not to try for something that crazy. That does mean the money for Misfits ends up in a very weird spot again, and also apparently means that we have another Mac 10 buy from Almanek. He's a big fan of that. And besides that, though, we'll end up just on upgraded pistols again. Deagles for most players, and Sick will full save.
Again, they put pressure on long before JDM can get in position, so he's got to compensate. And a missed shot, Almanek around. That's why he likes the Mac 10.
Gets him a cheeky kill at least, as he'll be traded moments later.
Oh, Stan. Oh, Stan. It's great you get the 1 kill, but whiffs on it. Moves too soon. It's obviously going to be traded back. And it gives them a gun to work with. They almost line up for Twist. Smoked off. He's going to get aggressive. Naturally needs to with the AK. And yeah, they wouldn't expect it. He gets 3 in the end.
Well, the rest of the team is...
I would be shaking my hand too, Stan. No offense. Bit awkward.
When the rest of the team's a little bit sloppy, though, Twist usually is consistent and closes out in those situations. So they bring in the closer in that case to manage things, and he picks up a nice 3K towards the end of the round there. Liquid keep this game close at 14-12, but after that one save round for Misfits, they're back into this with a full buy again.
Both these teams off to Atlanta in January. I think January, what is it? January 13th or 15th? Somewhere in there. Qualifier. Probably not right with either of those dates with my luck. Liege will get himself closer to the AR. She's actually going to play reverse side smoke, hoping that if they flash through or push it, he can be ready.
Misfits prep to execute here, but the problem is they've been trying these straightforward plays out platform for the entire half so far, and they've been very, very hit or miss. It's going to rely almost entirely on entry power, even if they get themselves a good setup.
12th through 15th. So 15th was right, but that's the end.
That's for the qualifier days.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's where they're going, Blue.
Yeah, I know. It's been a while since we brought that up. We're just reminding people about why you said 12th through 15th randomly.
I thought you were saying, like, that's the qualifier, Matt, not the major. And I was
no,
thinking,
no,
that's
no.
the point, Blue.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Now that we're back in the room. Chemistry, Blue. This is why we're regular duo. Elise gap, smoke. Covers off Omnic with the flash as well, and there's no response, even though they had the angle to do so. Finally, Shazam will get the trade, and Elise goes down, but Twist is still going to try and play forward of smokes and flashes. It's worked in the past, and this time with a strafe jump immediately in, they have to worry about Sean behind, who gets taken down. Dubak needs to read that came from the door, but he goes back to look for Twist instead. Peculiar, I have to say. More so because there's now 15 seconds for Shazam to recover the round. AWP swaps out smartly to the AK-47, having picked up the bomb. They immediately have the lineup, and Twist stayed alive in all of that.
So Liquid win a very important round there. This should put Misfits back down onto, at the very worst, another half buy, which is going to be the case here. Unlikely just pistol upgrades for them. I don't even think they can get armor, so excuse me, it won't even really be a half buy. It's just going to be upgraded pistols for this upcoming round. But it just seems like really bad communication across the board there for Misfits on that entry there. You could see Sean going down first, and then his team, I think it was Devo, also gets caught by pretty much the same group of players that are still sitting back behind the door, and he's just caught not paying attention to it for the second time in a row. Leads to a lot of lost lives that maybe didn't necessarily need to be lost, and Liquid get out of it in a much cleaner fashion than I was expecting there. So Misfits, like I said before, end up with a pretty pitiful buy, and it looks like they're just going to straight up rush B. In they go, they get a couple smokes, they get a pretty haphazardly set up smoke wall to at least give them clearance to find a plant, and well, Devo completely wraps around Chicken Coop and destroys JDM, fires back. I'm pretty sure he hits a player too. This nade's going to go in, do some massive damage, and they're making this work with just a tossed in smoke wall and a rush into the B site. They've taken full control and put this down to a 5v3.
Oh, picked up for Devo Dubek as well. He's got the armor to work with as Twist desperately tries to get a shot at. Naturally, the boost comes in because they need the angle to clear out behind the arch, but the boost doesn't matter if Sick hits shots such as that. In fact, Sean was the one that landed it. Immediately, it's brought back as Twist takes down Devo Dubek. Sean's able to trade that as well. Very, very good sight take. Map point achieved without any weapons for Misfits, and that avoids what would have been a potential disaster going 14-14 with Liquid on momentum.
Second time they've done that on this map, too. I think they did it once on CT side as well, where they pretty much ecoed Liquid entirely. So very well done for Misfits being able to piece those rounds together. Would love to see that much consistency in the gun rounds, too, but at least it keeps them in ahead. 15-13 now, going into what could be the final round of the map. And it also puts Liquid's money into a very, very poor spot. You can see the buy now. An ump, and besides that, it will just be pistols with armor.
It's a huge, huge win for Misfits. I think the game turns entirely, and Misfits end up actually losing that if they lose the last round. So what a take on the site. And again, it's the smoke wall B. Teams seem to struggle when they get on the outside of it.
You so often see Liquid, interestingly enough, were able to deal with this chaotic smoke setup in previous rounds due to quick counter smokes, but they weren't even given the chance this time. So locked out of the site before they even realize what's happening. Throws the round away.
Sean will play very, very passive, expecting that Liquid's going to do something unorthodox to try and make up for the fact that they don't have weapons and they're desperate.
Misfits a slow crawl again. And Stanislaw. Probably he's not going to spot any of this, to be completely honest, from his position down at the bottom, unless Misfits split again. We'll have Devo at least.
If they don't, yeah, I think all they want to do at this point is establish map control and then fan back out.
Still a minute left, so they've got another 30-ish seconds or so before they really get forced into an engagement. So they've got a long, but they won't keep it. They're not even going to keep Devo in that position. He's going to fall back with the rest of the team, and they'll just head into the B halls now.
I would have thought they would have left at least, like you say, Devo there to hold the position because they've at least ascertained that they're pushed back. They've cleared danger. They've cleared bottom middle. End of the corner, but now it's going to be execution on B instead. JDM's forward of it this time. Launches out the flashes. He's got a crossfire set with Elise. You can bait them in. Elise finds the first kill. They'll jump naturally straight over, but check it. JDM still finds one nearly two. As Devo gets the shot back in turn, but he goes low. Good play there by Shazam because it keeps Almanac alive, who crosses with the bomb. And somehow he hits Nitro behind the rock immediately.
There's another great headshot. Stan coming in on the flank, but now he's the last man standing, and he'll go down. So it's going to be Misfits that take control of map number 1 here in the grand finals of the minor. 16-13 is the final score, and as such, now they go up 1-0 in the series.
Again, both teams through the qualifiers, so job done in terms of what they would have wanted to accomplish coming to this event, but money on the line, a difference of 15K. And bragging rights. I don't think there's seating.
There isn't. Yeah, that was the next thing I was going to say.
I forget how. There was a bunch of debates about that. I don't know where we landed. I just do what I'm told. But
it probably depends on what the format of the qualifier ends up being.
Well, exactly, because Swiss system, you can only if you go with a Swiss system again, you can only actually seed the first round, and after that, it's all relevant based on who played who. So, either way, Misfits have shown up in this tournament and impressed the hell out of me. They're looking better and better each game we see them. In fact, and Shazam. Contribution from him was remarkable in the AWP.
Yeah, absolutely, especially towards the end there, hitting those really nice shots. The last one that we see hit too, just like a pixel headshot that he needs to hit, connects onto it perfectly.
Nitro had the angle perfect toward the rock, but it hit him as soon as he saw him, like
instantaneous flick. So really good stuff from him, and of course the rest of the team too. The French players still showing up. Quite a few clutches that, interestingly enough, happened to evolve both of them. It worked out really well that they had that combo, and then they were able to just shut things down from there. So that's going to close out the first map. Second map is going to be trained, folks. Do stick around for it, and we'll get to see if Misfits can close out in 2-0 fashion this time against Team Liquid, or if they'll still have some fight left in them to take it over to our third map.